Do you like movies and games also? Listen, so much more they all know. Vice, Lotus and friends, welcome to Corrective Consciousness.
Welcome to Corrective Consciousness, episode 109, the podcast where we explore the inanity of pop culture. I'm your host, Vysethebold, and this is...
Lotus Prince.
Old Man Stompy.
Minty Mitz.
Empire Jack Frost.
Mr. Black. And here's your great friend, Mr. Black.
What is that? I know it's from The Simpsons, but when does that come up?
It was some kind of instructional video, I think. Or like safety video or something like that. They actually used it in Simpsons Road Rage, which I was very happy about. Like whenever you would finish a round and your score would total, it would be like, hey, your rating is insane. Or like they would have like that voice for whatever rating you got. It was great.
Jeff Grabowski.
Yeah, Officer Steve Grabowski. Does that imply all the officers are named Steve?
That's exactly right. Grabowski. But anyway, so we brought you here today to make references to 30-year-old material. Kind of, actually. So Smash Brothers had a big announcement, which is a bunch of 30-year-old characters beating each other up. So,
yep.
It's kind of relevant.
One of them is only from one of the new ones is only from the SNES era.
Well, yeah, but actually both of them are. Yeah. Like two of the characters are, for sure. But anyway, we saw the new Nintendo Direct, and it's one of the best Smash Brothers announcements ever. They dropped a bunch of content. I'm
actually getting the hype that I felt during like the hype for Brawl. You know, like
Brawl had a lot of hype.
I didn't even buy Smash U because it was just not single player centric at all, and the new one looks like it will be. But these character announcements are freaking ridiculous.
There are bosses in the game, so there is a hefty one-player mode.
Thank God. Yeah.
I mean, this is essentially a successor to, not just a successor. It's kind of like a successor in the way that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was, but it's the same game, but it's so much more. You can't even call it an expansion. It's a true sequel, but it's not like they reinvented the wheel here. It is basically Smash for Wii U or 3DS. But with tons of content, tons of characters. So, I'll get this out of the way. The big reveal at the beginning of the Smash Direct was the Belmonts are going to be there, namely Simon and Richter.
That was
from
something.
The Castlevania series.
Simon Belmont was like Cloud in that was one of those things where I was like, yeah, keep voting all you want. They're never actually going to put it in.
Happen.
Yeah, like Cloud comes in with his PS1 Final Fantasy VII boss theme. I couldn't believe it. And now Simon Belmont is, he's really here. And Richter's kind of like an echo character.
At least to me, Cloud is still like the single most surprising character that we had in Smash Bros. At this point. Not only because Final Fantasy VII never actually appeared on Nintendo console, unlike most of the other characters, basically everybody else who's been in Smash Bros. Cloud has never been in a starring role in a game on Nintendo
just theater
console.
rhythm, really.
So like at least Simon Belmont was on the NES, in 2 games. Like that's not that surprising.
Well,
that Square is like super protective about their IP.
Yeah. Well, I will say one other thing that really surprised me is I know that it's been established that Smash Ultimate has all the previous Smash Brothers characters back, plus new ones.
Yes.
But I have to say, I really am surprised that they got Solid Snake back.
Yeah, everybody's really surprised, and I guess that goes along with Konami. They probably went to Konami and was like, okay, we want Snake back, but what else you got? So it's really cool. I mean, it would be very, very obtuse to say that the Castlevania is not a huge part of Nintendo and Nintendo culture. The first 3 Castlevania games on the NES are still some of the most sought after and played games on the NES. And Super Castlevania 4 was a big part of the Super Nintendo's launch.
Yeah.
The system would not be the same without it.
Go ahead, because I'm gonna go on a tangent.
But having Richter there is actually very surprising, because Richter actually didn't show up on a Nintendo console until the Wii Virtual Console.
Yeah, Richter was like the prologue of Symphony of the Night, right?
No, I actually lying there. So Dracula X was there's a Super Nintendo version of that. I forgot.
Super Famicom, right? Did it ever come out in the States?
No, it came out in the States.
We got Dracula X. Did not come out in the States was its original iteration, Rondo of Blood, on TurboGrafx. PC Engine, yeah.
If you go by Japanese naming convention, it makes it a lot simpler. The first one is called Dracula X Rondo of Blood for the PC Engine. That's the main game you think of when you think of Richter. But the Super Famicom version is called Dracula XX, denoting it as a separate game, because it has completely different levels. It has the same look, but it's a completely different game with a different set of levels. But he was on Nintendo, and this happens to be the Dracula X version of Richter. I should say he's not the Symphony of the Night version that a lot of people already know. So it's really neat that they chose to do the animate up pretty boy version. It's pretty neat because it's a very big stylistic difference than the Simon that they have. The Simon that they have is pretty
Simon
traditional.
Looks pretty Western style.
Yeah, he's traditional. He taking more of that Frazetta kind of barbarian pictorials. They used to have for the Conan the Barbarian. Kind of stuff.
He has that look to him.
Yeah, well, they actually took those poses from the original Castlevania box art from Frazetta paintings. Like they basically copied.
Well, that's true. But wasn't one of the classic Castlevanias? I forgot which box art it was. Maybe even the first one with that the Dracula on the upper right corner.
Yeah.
Wasn't that from a Dungeons and Dragons Ravenloft image?
Yes. So Castlevania 2's cover is a copy.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Is basically a trace of a Ravenloft cover. Yes. So you're correct.
All right,
so there's lots of plagiarism, but it's awesome plagiarism.
It's also so for Castlevania 2, I think that was the issue of Nintendo Power where they put Simon Belmont carrying Dracula's head and all the parents complained.
Oh yeah, that violent imagery.
In the mail.
That's actually issue 2 of the magazine.
Yes, the second issue of Nintendo Power.
Yeah. But the tangent I was going to go on is, how a lot of the hype for Smash Brothers, and this was true of Brawl as well, is those insane CG trailer sequences.
So cool.
Yeah, one of them kind of got, I don't know if I would call it meme status, but it really got the internet talking, which is the Simon Belmont's intro was Luigi doing his Luigi's Mansion thing where he's sucking up ghosts. But something scares him to death or whatever, and he becomes a ghost, and everyone's
he dies. He
gets,
everyone's
Luigi's dead. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, everyone's Luigi's dead. He's dead. He died.
So, I don't know if you
Jesus
noticed,
Christ.
but Mario and Mega Man died in the Ridley trailer too. Mega Man just got stabbed through the fucking heart by Ridley's tail. And he makes the Mega Man dying noise.
I actually never saw that.
It's got an echo to it. They keep up the horror theme. So the Ridley reveal trailer is Ridley stalking Samus, and she's there with Mario and Mega Man, and while she's walking down a catwalk. You just see a shadow steal away Mega Man and Mario, and you see this little cutaway where against a blood red screen, Mega Man gets stabbed through the heart, and Mario gets his head crushed in. It's really
holy
fucking
shit. Oh, by the way, regarding Ridley, cool freaking amiibo. Look at that thing.
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
can't wait. I can't wait for that amiibo.
And in the meantime, in King K. Rool's reveal trailer, you get trolled by Sakurai.
King K. Rool's reveal trailer was really interesting to me, actually. Not even the gameplay part, but just the CG trailer part, because the fact that it was DDD, because DDD in Brawl was the heaviest hitter for a forward smash attack. Ike was, no, that's not true. Lucas was the heaviest up smash, but DDD was the heaviest forward smash. That giant fuck off rocket mallet that just sends you across the room. and the reveal trailer just has K. Rool like swat him away, and you're like, how strong is this guy? Like that was just, and he's huge. It reminded me of Abigail from Street Fighter V, where like you've seen Hugo from Street Fighter 4, but Abigail is fucking gigantic. So like K. Rool's also like way big in that trailer. So you're just like, oh no, he's like a boss character by himself.
Yeah, I would say that this was also kind of a character you wouldn't expect either, just because of like, you know, I don't know of Microsoft's relationship with Nintendo. I think it's pretty good right now. They've done a lot of nice trading amongst themselves.
But does Microsoft have K. Rool though? Because I thought Microsoft, the whole thing with Microsoft, like was their big gaffe, was they bought Rare just for Donkey Kong, not realizing that was a Nintendo character. It's just Donkey Kong Country is Rare.
Well, I was under the impression that K. Rool was in fact Nintendo's intellectual property, but what's his face, Sakurai was afraid to use it because there's a stigma against using intellectual property that isn't your own without the explicit permission of the creators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I what I was going to say is they may have the rights, but they're reticent to do it. But I think they might have even asked Microsoft if it was okay. Just because. Because Nintendo and Microsoft actually do interact. They do have some cross stuff. Of course, they allowed some of the rare stuff. I think they traded back and forth a little bit, but basically, they got the Donkey Kong Country games running on the virtual consoles.
Yeah,
eventually.
That's cool. Yeah.
They also the big thing was they got Minecraft is one of the biggest sellers on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah. And also even Donkey Kong Country Returns, like the new platform that's not on Xbox as far as I know. It's just like a Wii U and Switch stuff.
Well, that's made by Retro Studios, right?
It's made by Retro.
Excuse me. Okay, that explains that.
Retro, the makers of Metroid
Prime.
And I guess that's what makes it somewhat unbelievable that the Kremlings would make a reappearance, is because they created an entirely new set of villains for the DKR.
Yeah, that is true. Those are like those Tiki Wood guys. Yeah.
So yeah, the first one is like Tiki guys, and the second one is like frozen Viking animal guys.
No, I will say, though, going back to K. Rool, one thing that makes me really happy about him, because I will admit I was disappointed to a degree of how he handled himself in his fights in Donkey Kong 64, like the puzzle-based boxing match. Mm-hmm. I like that K. Rool has his Donkey Kong Country 1 look, like he does in DK64, but like he still throws his crown like he did in that game, but he also has his blunderbuss from Donkey Kong Country 2, and he has his goofy-ass little propeller pack from Donkey Kong Country 3, and he has that super boxing glove punch from DK64. In fact, the trailer ended with that anime, like, the fists collide, his and Donkey Kong's, but, like, it actually went ahead into the anime thing, and did that shockwave, and you're like, oh!
His final smash is from DK64, too. It's the
Is it the uppercut?
It's the laser beam from the island.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was the Oh no, what was that thing called? It's like the name of that super machine that just blows up DK Island, whatever it was. But
I forget.
Yeah, it's like it never actually happens in the game unless you game over. And even then, it just shows him charging up the beam, and you're like, oh well, I guess everyone's dead. But like, yeah, in Smash, it just shows him shooting the giant laser beam, and it actually shows like DK Island blowing up, and you're like, oh,
right.
That's pretty fantastic.
So I have to say that I'm very excited about these announcements. Also, like I hope there's some kind of hope that Konami might do something with their characters, by letting them have some attention now. At least they're back in the public eye. Hopefully, I mean, all I really want is a Castlevania collection for the Switch.
Okay.
Even though I already have them all, I mean...
Haunted Castle is all you need.
Haunted Castle was the last published Castlevania game. I'm trying to think.
Which is ironic, because wasn't it the first?
Well, Haunted Castle is the arcade version. It's like the third game in the series, technically.
Oh, okay. It's also freaking impossible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst. But they could easily put a DS collection on the Switch, for instance.
That would be great.
The Castlevania games for the DS were probably some of the best games I ever played. They're so good. And it'd be really cool to see some K. Rool action as well. I mean, him being in some other games would be really neat. I mean, they've shied away from using him in games.
Well, even just in like party games or something. Like, we don't need another Donkey Kong with K. Rool as the villain, but like,
no,
I'd be okay with seeing him just show up. I mean, like, I don't play the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, but like, I could easily see him joining that kind of roster, or like the Mario Sports Games or something.
Mm-hmm. And then we have two more fighters that are kind of they're also shadow characters, though they're not as big as these.
One of them is literally a shadow character.
You have Dark Samus, who has slightly different abilities from Samus, which is pretty cool.
She kind of has that hover thing going on.
Yeah, and she looks neat. I just like the way she looks, so I might even just play as her for aesthetical reasons. And there's Chrom, who is another Fire Emblem character.
So you now get three Marths for the price of one.
And like Ike is like a heavy Marth. Well, not really. No, there's Marth, Roy, and Lucina.
And Roy is a Marth on fire.
Exactly. So like, and Chrom, like, if there's one thing I was really like concerned that there was lacking, it was a fucking Fire Emblem swordsman. But here we go.
We have Corrin too, right? You forgot about Corrin.
Yeah, we do have Corrin and we do have Robin, but those at least play differently. But like, Jesus Christ, like, we get it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a little less excited about Chrom. I mean, like, Fire Emblem's cool, but I mean, there's just they're so samey in terms of fighting.
Like, that was the point. Like, the cost is so low to include Chrom that it's almost
true.
Amazing that he didn't make it into Smash 4.
The previous
and
one.
They even made like a joke about it in the trailer where he's like, maybe next time.
Yeah.
My time.
And
it was.
There are some surprises here in the assist trophies, which is pretty neat. The best one by far is Shovel Knight appears as an assist
finally
trophy.
Like, everyone knew. Like, how could he not? He has an amiibo and everything. Like, well, he's not playable, but okay, that's his trophy.
He should be playable, though. I mean, they should have made him a guest character. That would have been so cool. It's a shame that he didn't make it, but at least he made it into the game.
Actually, speaking of Shovel Knight, what was funny was I saw like a joke Twitter post about how Shovel Knight is a playable character in like 3 or 4 other like crossover like indie fighting games, and it's like, how is he not in Smash? he's playable in like every other game ever made, right? But like not Smash.
He's in Blade Warriors now, I think, right?
Yeah.
I want to play that game. It has all kinds of characters.
Was that the one with like Quote from Cave Story?
Which is the one that has Isaac in it?
I think that might be that one. It has Isaac and like Quote from Cave Story. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah. It's basically like the Nick Callis fighting battle royale.
I will say Quote is the other indie character that everybody seems to want to try to get into Smash Brothers and probably won't be. Yeah,
that I don't see happening, but it'd be interesting.
You have Chef Kawasaki, which is always funny.
What was he from?
He's from Kirby.
Okay.
He's that potato-looking guy who bangs his pots.
Okay.
And everybody jumps in the pot.
So
that's where Kirby's
Final Smash used to be that, except now it's the Hypernova from, or at least the second time around it was the Hypernova from the Wii game.
That's right. It was the jump into the pot in like Brawl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this one, you Old Man Stompy and Minty Mitz can comment on Kapp'n from Animal Crossing. Is this based off of the Kappa of Japanese lore?
Well,
he's a Kappa.
He is a Kappa, like that is his character, but he's like a pirate. He's just a guy who drives you in a boat to like the island where the multiplayer island, at least in the most recent game.
Aren't Kappas like really creepy in that like they kidnap children? Isn't that like kind of why it would be funny to be on a boat with one of them?
Yeah, they're like straight up monsters, aren't they?
I don't remember if that was like, I heard about the Kappa myth because apparently there's some like thing about it where like the Kappas like they hang out in like river streams and they steal like in Japanese lore there's like a piece of your soul that's located in your anus and they steal it out of there. It's like really gross. I've seen one of those fluids. It seemed like they drain your vital fluids. The kidnapping kids might be another part of the myth or like a sanitized version of it.
They're very respectful creatures, so to say.
Well, they do not respect personal space, clearly.
Okay, but what it is that if you bow to them, they're supposed to bow back to you, and the water from their head, like or their crown, will pour out, and they can't move.
But don't think it's like dire? Is it they can't move without it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they need water in their head, and they're like cucumbers.
Isn't like Koopa based off of that, like Bowser?
I doubt it. He doesn't really have that much of a resemblance. I mean, like Psyduck's evolution Golduck is basically just straight up a Kappa.
Think of like Koopa's original appearance in Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, like not Bowser, like the regular Koopas?
Yeah, like Super Mario Brothers. At the end of every world, you fight, King Koopa. He looks more like a Kappa there than he does right now. I mean, of course they developed him, and he has more like Chinese dragon features now. I would say, with all the eyebrows and stuff like that. But I think that maybe there might be some DNA there, to be honest.
Wow. So it says here that Miyamoto named him Daimo Koopa, which came from the Japanese name for Kukbap, a Korean dish. So he's named after a Korean food. He is not named after the Kappa.
Is it because it's like spicy? Is the fire shooting out of his mouth?
Maybe.
Okay.
Let me continue to click Wikipedia links. I will.
Yeah.
It says soup with rice. He was originally envisioned as an ox, but he looked too much like a turtle, so they made him Koopa.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of funny.
Wow. So I'm totally wrong. And then there's Crystal from Star Fox Adventures
Dinosaur Planet.
They couldn't get Tricky the Triceratops.
Oh man, wait up, Fox.
So that was a funny reveal too. They had like the ice climbers like freezing a character, and then like she comes and freezes them. That's pretty funny.
I used to play Ice Climber.
That's a terrible game. I have no love for it.
You mean you made them in Melee?
In Melee.
I thought you meant you played the
You played actual
game.
Ice Climber.
No.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't recommend it.
Oh my god.
And then you have Knuckles, of course. Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles.
Knuckles and Knuckles. Oh, anytime he gets hit, does he go, "Oh no"?
Is he the meathead version of Knuckles? The guy that looks like he's like really buff?
Oh, the Sonic Boom Knuckles?
No, he looks like Sonic 3 Knuckles.
Nice.
Very
no.
much so.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because they made Knuckles a skin for the Mii Brawler in Smash 4, so he looked just like he does, like really beefy in the newer Sonic games.
Oh, that's great.
No, it's his classic rendition. He even has some Sonic-like moves when he hits you.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. He even turns into like a spin dash ball, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Though they could have really had him as a shadow character. I don't know why they didn't.
He's
do
not
that.
considered a shadow character?
So it's Echo character. You guys are saying
Echo character.
Well, he's an
So-
assist trophy, so no.
There could be Shadow as an Echo character. They haven't
That's
shown him
true.
yet as an assist trophy, and he was one in Smash 4.
There you go. And then there's a DK Claptrap, which is
That's kind of cool.
Those claptraps are kind of based off of those alligators from Donkey Kong Jr. So that's a little nostalgic.
Yeah, the DK clap. Oh, that's what it is. It's not like Donkey Kong Country 1 Claptrap.
No, they are, but though that design was basically that Donkey Kong Jr. Like an evolution of the Donkey Kong Jr.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So for the record, the
traps.
claptraps were the little, like, more actual alligator crocodile looking enemies that just go across the floor biting, so you have to jump on them.
Yep. And you have Zero, which is a nice surprise.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
He was also they used him in the Amiibo fighter, right?
Which I don't know.
The Mii fighter.
I do not. I don't recall. I know one of the gunners was Gino. I think.
Yeah,
I can't
remember
remember
that.
what the other gunner was.
Yeah, but no, he would be a sword character.
Yeah.
Oh, Zero. Yeah. The sword character was the Taka something. That was one of them from the last pack.
Okay.
I can't remember the other one.
It's alright.
Which iteration of Zero is it? Is it like X1 or is it like X4?
X1.
Okay.
It's X1. So it's They went with as classic as they could.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
most
no
well-known
original
versions.
Mega Man iteration of Zero, so it would have to be X something, I guess, unless it's like Mega Man 0.
Yeah, they
Yes,
didn't
I
use
think
him.
I think it's a sword costume. You're right.
Okay.
Cool. And then they revealed just how much content is in this game, which is wacky. So 103 stages.
Yeah, that's insane.
So wait,
it has to be every stage.
Takamaru, that's the sword fighter. But from Mysterious Murasame Castle, which they had to alert was not an American game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we never,
so they said they showed 103 stages, and they said that all stages would be unlocked at the start. They did not say that there are only 103 stages. So just in case.
So not only that, but you could play all kinds of different versions of these stages. So this game is really, really tailored to make every single person happy who wants to play this game.
This is like the closest we've ever come to an official Mugen release.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like they have like Omega modes for a lot of the stages.
Yep.
They have like 3 different modes for almost all the stages where they have various levels of.
Omega mode is one of the coolest things they added to Smash U. Like, so you don't have to do Final Destination every time you want a straight fight. You could do it in other stages for once.
And it makes it accessible to the 8-player mode.
Yes.
Now, the coolest thing that I really liked is that they are bringing back the N64 stages, but they look like N64 stages.
Yeah.
So they are taking the old, like low polygon count, and low texture versions of all these stages, so that when you play like Dreamland, for instance, it looks like fucking Dreamland. Like
the tree.
Wispy Woods. Yeah, it actually looks like it with like a big texture stretched across it. It's so cool.
I don't know if they're gonna do this, but you know what would be kind of amusing is if, like, you know how Melee had some N64 stages on it.
Sure.
If they allowed you to choose like the GameCube like Melee filter of those stages as well.
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, this game is ultra customizable.
They're pulling it all the stops out.
You can decide whether you want final smashes to be in it, if you want the smash meter to be in it. If you want you were always able to say whether you wanted weapons in it and items in it or not.
And you could even customize which music tracks you wanted playing. I think I forgot if Melee did this, but you could do it in Brawl.
So what they're doing is they're allowing you to pick whatever music you want as long as it's within the series. So
like each stage has like 4 or 5 themes or something.
So the theme, no, it's like 7 per stage.
All right, but the idea is that you're gonna choose Metal Gear Solid themes for the Metal Gear Solid stage,
which is cool because it won't mismatch the theme; it'll go along with it.
Well, there's something like 30 some odd tracks for the Castlevania stage, so you have a lot to choose from just for that one level.
And they're brand new remixes; they're not like old versions of the songs. So really cool.
I just want Yell Dead Cell back for Metal Gear Solid because that was like. It's an actual boss fight theme. Like, what a great idea.
Well, piggybacking off of this, there are 900 tracks. 900
Yeah, is there any room left for the game on the cartridge? Jesus.
So there must be. So the cartridge, I think they confirmed it's going to fit on a 16 gig cart. I guess there might be a long download at the end of it to install it on your Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a big game. In total, it'll probably be a 30 gig game if I had to guess, or something close to it, maybe 25.
And they're bringing back the GameCube controller adapter as well.
Yeah, and you'll be able to use the GameCube one, the one that you got for your Wii U if you have one.
Yeah, that's good because there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, why should you have to keep buying GameCube controllers for?
Yeah, another GameCube adapter. Yeah.
What's cool about it is also, you have somebody like me who already owns one, but it's cool to have 2 adapters, this time around, that way I can finally get 8 people.
Not only that, but, there's probably a difference, the Wii U and the Switch version of the adapter, if you're into that kind of thing.
I think they look the same, but they might have a different logo on it or something, so
that's what I mean. Cool. I mean, it's like the GameCube controllers. They have, a Smash logo on it, because that's the only thing you can play with them, unless you're using an actual old school GameCube controller, so it's all right.
But I'm really excited. They even have a listening mode, so you can carry around your Switch and listen to the music on it like an iPod.
Oh, what? That's great.
Yeah, they have a listen mode because they recognize that they would never be able to put out a soundtrack CD or because they would you would have to buy it for like $500 first.
That's the thing. Like I got the special soundtrack CD for Smash Brothers at like a convention or something for like the Wii U version and a little bit of the 3DS version, like the red and blue discs, but like they obviously only have a sampling of how many freaking songs are in those games. But what's also cool, though, is there is something kind of interesting about saying the Smash Brothers soundtrack when it's like one track from various games. You had this cool collection.
So I heard one of my friends on Facebook say, this will officially be the best collection of like classic game soundtracks ever.
I mean, how could it not be?
Yeah, it's just so cool. I mean, Theater Rhythm and Curtain Call is very close.
That's true.
I would say I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I would not say that Theater Rhythm is anywhere close to what Smash Bros. Does, especially considering that Smash now also includes Final Fantasy music, so there even is some overlap.
Yeah. Sure. I am really excited about that. And being able to listen to it, and even just like putting it on in my home while I'm like doing chores and stuff. It's just the fact that it's on the Switch just makes it so much better. You can play this game on the go. You don't need to buy 2 versions of the game anymore. And it's going to be a big hit. Like, people are going to bring this to each other's houses like they did with Rock Band back in the day.
And that's actually one of the things I'm particularly looking forward to, by the way, is that because you said you don't have to buy 2 versions of the game, I'm not even talking about portable versus TV. Like, I mean, there were Wii U exclusive stages and 3DS exclusive stages and some tracks as well. But no more.
It's also not the games played out totally differently. The story mode was totally different. The final boss had an extra phase in the Wii U version. The trophy guide was different. The achievements were different. They were not really the same game.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and not only that, but they had to function at the same level, though. They couldn't have the ice climbers because it wouldn't have worked on the 3DS.
Yeah.
So you don't have a limitation. They could just go all out with whatever they want to do.
Oh boy, howdy, did they go all out in this one?
And speaking of which, this is going to sound kind of like obvious, but the fact that the game has all the characters, like I don't have to buy the Wii U version and then pay out the nose for every single DLC character. This game actually just has them.
Mm. Well, there will probably also be DLC. Later. There will definitely be DLC. How could there not be DLC for what is most likely
even if there is, it's not going to be those previous DLC characters. Mm-hmm. So it's still a save.
So I wanted to close out the segment by asking you guys what you think is a likely announcement for another character. I mean, Old Man Stompy, you're putting fair stock in Shadow, right?
Well, I think he's a likely Echo character, if I had to guess.
Or even just alternate colors for Sonic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's a little dissatisfying. Just he's conspicuous by his absence from the assist trophies. Oh, we missed the coolest assist trophy, which is the fucking moon for Majora's Mask.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That is ridiculous. That was terrifying when I saw it for the first time. So, just to recap a little bit, like, when I and one of our friends were trying to watch the Direct, I didn't get to see it live. The first thing I did was I went to the VOD on Twitch, and the first 30 minutes of it are just like the Direct is starting in 30 minutes, and I was like skip, trying to find the start of the thing. I skipped through the entire Simon Belmont introduction, which is the first 3 minutes, and I had no idea. I had no idea he was in the game. So I was talking to like Mr. Ryu about the reveal of King K. Rool and about like, they have a Castlevania stage. It'd be really cool if they had Simon Belmont. And he's like, wait, did we watch the same? And I saw it later on Kotaku. I was like, "Oh my god, Simon Belmont's in!" And I had never said anything about it to Mr. Ryu at all. He just assumed that I'd already seen it, and that I was already like over my enthusiasm. He's like, "Oh, man, stop me! What's wrong with you?"
But so what do you think are more likely characters to be announced here?
So, like, everybody's favorite. Like, because most people who like to speculate on the internet are from like our generation and they grew up with the NES and the SNES. They're all speculated like Geno from Super Mario RPG, who made it in at the tail end of the DLC.
Sure.
from Smash 4 as a Wii Gunner costume, a Mii Gunner costume.
He showed up in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for a mini game.
Well, sure, like he was there for like a second, but they made a big deal about him as a Super Mario RPG crossover, and they played his music when he was a costume for a Mii Gunner. And so, like, since they also did that with Knuckles, and he's now an assist trophy, and, you know, like, since the whole theme of this is, like, just whatever the fans want, we're just gonna do it, you know, like, I think he's not quite, like, super likely, but I think he's on the fringe of things that I might expect to see in the game.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I actually expect to see him in the game, but I'm still holding out for Waluigi. I want Waluigi, man.
Didn't they already show him as an assist trophy?
Oh, did they? Maybe.
Oh, that's a shame.
Because I know he was an assist trophy. I didn't know he was back as one.
I don't want to rule anything out yet, because they kind of made a point about Rathalos being in as both a story boss and an assist trophy, which has never happened before. So...
Actually, you know what we desperately need? Like, this would be hilarious, and this isn't even for Smash. Remember how for the Wii, the regular Wii, there was like the year, or no, the Wii U, excuse me. There was the year of Luigi where they had like the green, like Super Mario cross off Luigi Brothers. If we had a fucking year of Waluigi and just everyone gets mad but like 10 people, I want that so bad. Like the purple cartridge with just an annoying character that you play as.
Yeah, Waluigi is also very popular and like people really want him in. I don't know why.
He's great in
like
Aces. He's actually great in the tennis games, but he's
a technical character.
He's a really cool character. He does like the Michael Jackson moonwalk in it.
Yep.
He does like crotch shop in the soccer game. He's got loads of personality in his animations. I play him in like everything that he's available in. I'm not entirely certain why people are so excited about it though.
And when a shot is out of his reach for the defense smash in tennis, he like there just is water and he swims to it. It makes no sense.
Wow.
My outside chance one, but I think it may be able to happen, and this is mainly because we've seen Nintendo reach out and acknowledge this as a part of NES nostalgia. But I think it would be really cool to see Bub and Bob as kind of like a dual character, kind of like
from the dragons from Bubble Bobble.
Bubble Bobble, yeah. And especially since they already have. So Taito was acquired by Square Enix, so it would be easy for them to get Taito characters.
Well, this is a shoo-in. The environmentalist from Growl.
Not a chance.
So I would also rank Mr. Driller pretty high up there.
Oh yeah, Namco characters, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, Dig Dug or Mr. Driller would be. I would say they're both very likely, or even a Tekken character. To be honest,
I mean, I would love to see it just because I'd like to see like Ryu versus Heihachi or Mishima or something.
As cool as that would be, I think Tekken's already got its own crossover universe.
Well, sure, but that didn't stop Ryu from being in Smash Brothers. This is a crossover universe. This isn't stopping them from taking.
Yeah, well, no. What would be really cool is if they did like a double crossover where like Tekken shows up in Smash and like Ryu shows up in Tekken 7 or something.
Or Akuma from Tekken 7 shows up. In
Smash that's already they already paved the way for that one, didn't they?
Yeah, it seems more and more that the or you know what Nintendo and Tecmo have a really good relationship. It would be cool to see Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden games.
Oh, sure.
You said Tecmo?
Tecmo has a good relationship
Ryu
with
Hayabusa from the Dead or Alive series.
Yeah. No, clearly it's going to be Miku from Fatal Frame 1.
Oh, I thought you would say Miku from the Project Eva series.
Miku from Hatsune, yeah.
I mean, I could even see the main character from Ryu from Shenmue being in there. So
Rio,
yeah, whatever.
The main character whose face you never see from Deception.
You're
like the player character is like the light gun for the for Duck Hunt. You're just like setting traps and being a dick.
So, what are the odds we get a hunter from Monster Hunter now that we have a stage?
That'd be interesting.
That would be cool because you could ultra customize them and unlock different versions of their armor and stuff. That would be really cool, for sure. But then you'd have to make different versions of the hunter, like the different classes. Well,
unless they do like a Dante from Devil May Cry thing where like he has like one move from each of their sets. You know, like Dante could switch among his double guns, his shotgun, his gauntlets, like during regular gameplay in Devil May Cry. So maybe it'd be like the Monster Hunter character has one sword move, one great sword move, one gun move, something like that.
Right.
Or maybe even Beautiful Joe being in the game. That he had his own Smash clone.
I was just gonna say, no, too late. He was taken for Red Hot Rumble.
Well, wait. So was Simon Belmont's. You can't play that game. He was in Dream Mix TV.
Simon was taken from Castlevania Judgment. Sorry, too late.
So what about other Nintendo characters that haven't yet appeared?
See that most of them are assist trophy worthy at this point. I mean, all the big franchises that I can think of are represented. I mean, there's Geist.
Yeah, we got the Squidling. Yeah, Geist, get the hell out of here! Fucking Geist. We got Alex Roivas.
Yeah, I mean, Eternal Darkness. You could have the Eternal Darkness character.
Obviously, Alex Roivas. Why would you not? We have the Twin Snakes version of Solid Snake.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like actual. I mean, how about the Balloon Fighter? I think Balloon Fighter hasn't been represented. He's always been like an assist trophy.
Yeah, but the Balloon Fighter, the Animal Crossing character, is a Balloon Fighter for his Be Up.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of great.
Balloons and he swims like it.
Fair enough.
Okay. How about Tingle? Tingle's not?
Tingle's like a stage hazard.
Okay, he hasn't
and
been announced
possibly
as
an assist trophy as well.
It's also like Americans like absolutely can't stand Tingle, so I don't know if they do that.
I think he's coming around.
My sister.
It's becoming like he's kind of funny.
It would be cool to be one of the champions from the Breath of the Wild, the 4 champions. Those guys are really cool.
Right.
The characters that you have done.
We could have well, this is Capcom. We could have Sun. Perfect. Obviously. Actually for real. Again, this is Capcom, but it was Nintendo exclusive. Zack and Wiki.
Okay.
Nobody knows who the hell they are, so be like. But then again, like nobody knew who Ness was when Melee came out, and all of a sudden everyone looked up Earthbound and they're like, "Oh shit, this game is brilliant."
Nobody knew who Marth was when Melee came out. That
was
much
no
worse
one knew who Marth was in America. Yeah,
or Lucas. And then you have what companies do you think could possibly still be represented that aren't? So I'm thinking that it would be really cool if SNK got one character in there, like Terry Bogard or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Really cool. It would have to be from King of Fighters, but
it would have to be Terry.
I kind of want to see a Samurai Showdown character in there.
It wouldn't happen, but or maybe
no
Marco.
Way, but I would kind of like that.
Marco from Metal Slug.
My two big picks for that. Yeah, my two big picks for that. One, because he already has an amiibo, is Solaire.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And this other one
if Dark Souls joined Smash, the universe would implode. But that's too much, even for me.
Oh, so there's one I forgot. I think that Rex will be in here, the protagonist from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because he's basically just Shulk.
Okay.
But with a different style.
Yeah, now you're getting me in the mood for like thinking of like Calamite as like a background stage hazard. That'd be amazing.
And what else? So if I had to pick one pie in the sky for a company that's like very famous in gaming, although it's not really known for being on a Nintendo console at all, although there have been a couple, would be Adolf Kristen.
Okay, yeah, there you go. From Ease. That would, I don't think in any world that would ever happen. Especially since...
But he would be really easy to translate into a Smash Brothers character. He'd basically
he would be great. He would have to attack everybody diagonally.
He just bumps into them.
Yeah.
I mean, that hasn't really been a thing for a while in Ease. And you
don't care doing it
since Ease 4 on the Super Nintendo and PC Engine. But
Super Famicom. It never came out in America.
Yep. All right, well, I think we should move on. I think we should just do a fan question because we ran long here. We'll do fan reactions next time.
Well, no, I can do fan reactions real quick. This is just for bad movies because it's mostly just naming the bad movies.
Okay.
So the kind of Jaina says definitely Rocky Horror Picture Show, even though it's not bad, just wacky. And some Adam Sandler movies and like Sharknado, because Sharknado is that.
The final one's coming.
Oh, it's actually Final. All right, so Solid to Scully says Brain Dead or Dead Alive by Peter Jackson.
There you go. I love that.
I kick ass for the Lord. That guy, the best.
It's still the bloodiest movie of all time.
That movie is vicious.
I think they said they were pumping 8 gallons of blood per second.
That's fucking insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's also a more popular example from Solid to Scully would be Terminator 3 and the first live-action Resident Evil movie. Terminator 3 mostly for the ending, as it delivers a gut punch of a nihilistic feeling of like your species is doomed. And Resident Evil, it kind of functions the way a Resident Evil movie should, even though it barely has anything to do with the actual games. And then Dracologist says anything by Wolf Tracer Studios. The only movie I'm really aware of by Wolf Tracer is Rhapsody Kids, and that literally has to be seen to be believed. Like, take a day of 3D modeling and then just make that whole movie. Like, it looks like Reboot is like leaps and bounds more gorgeous than that movie. It's fucking incredible. Okay, so the fan question. Insane Buffoon asks, what food-related quirks do you have? For example... I know. For example, I don't like ketchup on hot dogs or mustard on hamburgers, and I eat Kit Kats by eating the wafer layers, one at a time. I don't do layers. I break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
I don't think we have enough time in this episode.
Yeah. Well, my quirk is I'm plain as hell. I eat plain things. I'm plain. That's my quirk.
That was a lot shorter than I was expecting. Like,
I don't use condiments except for ketchup on hamburgers or something. Like cheese? Some barbecue sauce and stuff. But like I don't pour salt on my stuff. I don't use mustard. I don't use relish. Like I'm a very plain person in general. I don't have embellishments. I don't use butter. That's my quirk.
You don't like cheese either.
I'll take mozzarella cheese.
Don't use butter?
I can tolerate some cheese, but like I'm not a cheese guy. And no, I do not use. I mean, if it's in the cooking, that's one thing. But I don't ever like spread butter.
I can't believe you don't use butter.
Oh.
Yeah. So I used to have this thing where I would eat those round ring cookies on my fingers when I was a kid.
Oh, the fudge stripes?
The Keebler Alps, fudge stripes.
Nice.
And I still do it with my pinky because
if you can, get away with it.
They're the only fingers that
yeah, no, I totally get that. That's like the equivalent of putting those little bugles on your fingertips.
Yeah, exactly.
See the claws?
I have to do it. It doesn't taste right if I don't. But for real, I like most foods. I'm very open-minded when it comes to food, and I almost always try something. But as far as normal food goes, there's like a couple things I don't like, and like most other people like. So the big thing, a lesser thing is cauliflower. I just hate it. Mm. I hate the texture of it. It's just terrible. But I love broccoli. So it's kind of funny because they're very similar. They're even like the same plant. Technically, I think they're all derived from mustard.
Broccoli flower?
Well, broccoli and cauliflower and like a whole bunch of other things that we eat actually are derived from like a mustard plant. They're all like Brussels sprouts and cabbage as well. Like they're all like in the very similar family. But anyway, I also don't like eggs. That's the big thing. I don't like eggs at all. As many times as I've tried them, I can't get myself to enjoy them. I've actually gotten myself to eat them if they're in something.
Cake and such?
Well, no. I mean, I
would you like eggs with that? You know,
if it's part of the cooking, then I don't mind it ever. Like I even like quiches, for instance. But that's as eggy as I like. Let's just put it that way.
So no sunny side.
No! In fact, the runnier, the worse for me. So like I don't like scrambled eggs. However, I can tolerate an omelet because it has a lot of other stuff in it. So like I can eat I like it for the mushrooms or whatever else you're putting in it. I don't like runny eggs at all. They're the worst. I'm not a big fan of hard-boiled eggs, but I'll like if it's in a salad or something, I kind of force myself to eat it because I feel like I should like eggs, and they're healthy to you in some degrees. So I feel like I should try to get myself to like them or get used to them. The whole thing behind it is when I was a kid, must have been like 5 or 6. I got sick after eating eggs, like scrambled eggs, and it turned me off from them ever since. So
those are the hardest to recover from.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could say the same about green apple vodka, but that's not nearly as a mainstream of a thing. So, how about you guys?
When I was really little, you know snow caps?
Oh yeah, nonpareils, yeah.
Yeah, they're delicious.
On them. I don't know what prompted me to do this, but I actually did not like nonpareils. I thought they were too hard or something, or got stuck in my teeth. So
I kind of get that.
Like, you just picked off the little sugar bits, but you ate the chocolate?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very dedicated.
Yeah, they are. that is a quirk. Those things are kind of hard, but like I don't mind them, but I get it.
I like them a lot.
Yeah.
If you put them on buttercream, and you leave them in buttercream for a while, and they soften up, that's the difference. But on the snow caps, they're still very hard, and I just picked them off. And my nails would be like all chocolatey, but they're
Actually, if you want to talk about a quirk like that, then the way I eat Oreos is I take off one of the cookies, and so whichever cookie does not have the icing on it, I eat that first, and then I try kind of with the other cookie with the icing on it, I try eating like around the icing so I can get like as much percentage of like icing to cookie ratio like at the very end.
wow.
Yeah.
So my mom will do that sort of. She'll take 2 double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah.
She'll eat just the cookie part off of. She'll like do the same thing that you did and take the
Your mom knows
the
what's
cookie
up.
part off of one of them twice. So she'll wind up with like 2 halves of a double stuff with all the cream on it, and then make a quadruple stuff and then eat that.
That is the correct answer.
It's like I've tried that and I liked it a lot when I was a kid, but like now that I'm trying to watch my diet, it's just like disgusting.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah.
And also Ferrero Rocher, the chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I eat
Hazelnut.
the shell, and then I eat the other shell, and then I eat the center.
Yeah, there you go.
I do stuff like that all the time. I'm sure there are tons of things that I can think of like once it comes up, but there are certain things I eat like I did when I was 8. You know, like I just have to eat them that way. I kind of do that with like with animal crackers. I have to bite off the head. Like I have to bite off the head.
Oh,
and
actually,
then eat the rest of it.
I just realized here's a glaring one that I can't believe I didn't even mention. I'll eat food, like I don't have a certain order I eat food in, but I will eat it in an order. Like I don't eat some of the pasta and then some of the meat. You know, I'll eat one thing and then the other if I can.
So I will do you one better. I do that exact same thing, and I always have a specific order. Like even so I try to. I have a tendency to eat like a plate of food in like the reverse order of how much I like whatever is on there. So if there's one,
oh sure, so say the best for last. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but that there's a logical extension to that, and actually, like I almost broke up with Minty Mitz early on because of this, because she betrayed me severely. So there's another one quirk I'd like to sort of toss in here is that from when I was 5, I watched like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. And because of the Violet Beauregard scene, I was terrified of blueberries for like a really long time.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
he hates blueberries.
I got over it as I got older, and like by the time I was 12, I was like I wouldn't like piss myself just because I saw a blueberry anymore, you know. But like I never really reacquired the taste for it, and that extended to like all things that had artificial blue or purple coloring. You know, I just never really developed a taste for it. So when I eat Fruit Loops, I eat them in reverse order of like Roy G. Biv. I eat the purple ones first, and then all the blue ones.
That's amazing.
And so like,
do you do that with Trix as well?
Well, no, not with Trix. I don't usually eat Trix, and like Fruit Loops is the only cereal I eat where this is really an issue. So like, there was a day where Mitz and I were like sitting late at night, and we were both eating a bowl of Fruit Loops, and she didn't know that I had this like really like psychotic tendency to eat a Fruit Loop bowl in reverse order. Who would expect that their boyfriend is a maniac who eats their Fruit Loops?
You should always ask if you have that Fruit Loop quirk before you feed someone Fruit Loops.
I had like painstakingly eaten all the purple and the blue Fruit Loops out of my bowl, and she looks at it and she's like, "Oh, you didn't get any blue or purple. Let me give you some." And she's like, dumps them all. I was like, "No, what are you doing?"
The audacity.
I love both that you have that fear of Blue, but also that she like thought like I should fish out some blue Fruit Loops for him. like who cares? Like for both of you, like no, who would guess that either of you would do those things?
Now I understand why you don't want to play as Blue Link in Triforce.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay,
now you understand. It didn't make any sense at the time. You thought it was the stupidest thing, but now you know why.
It's because he doesn't want to eat that Link.
So,
well,
I will say
specifically want you to be Blue Link because of this now.
Well, then I guess we're not finishing the game. So I will say that when I first took Minty Mitz home to meet my parents, so they didn't know that I would bother to tell somebody about this stupid blueberry thing, right? So this was like not actually that late in the relationship. We'd only been going out for a few months, and she was coming to visit. I guess we were doing something at the house. So she at the time worked at a bakery, and she brought like a whole bunch of baked goods for the family. Like, since it was the first time she'd been with my parents. And she's like, hey, here, I got you a lemon meringue pie. I got you a cheesecake. She gives it to my sister. Here, I got you banana pudding. Like,
and for Keith, a blueberry pie.
So, the first thing was like, here, it's a blueberry jamboree. And so my parents, not believing that I had confessed that I have this, like, bizarre, like phobia of blueberries. And then she's like, if you didn't have enough, here, I also got you a cup of raw blueberries.
What?
She just hands it to me, and she's been carrying this. She came all the way down from Manhattan on a train for an hour and a half with a cup of blueberries. And she hands it to me, and I'm just like, delicious.
You're turning violet, Man Stompy.
So she knows exactly what's going on. My parents know exactly what's going on, and my dad looks at her and she's like, you got him. You have him so whipped right now.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Wow.
That is a genuinely amazing story. I love it.
This is amazing.
So anyway, yes, red Link is preferable. Green Link is acceptable. Blue Link is right out.
Well, we'll have to talk a bit about that in the next coming weeks. I have been enjoying playing a lot more multiplayer games, especially with our run playing on Triforce Heroes. That was a lot of fun. But I think this was very successful. I want to hear. This is definitely one I want to hear from the audience.
Yeah, this is a great question.
Yeah, this is a really great question, and one I think a lot of people in our fandom here can weigh in on. So please, in our community, I should say, I'd rather talk about us as a community, but definitely tell us about some quirks you have or ones that your friends have or whatever, because it's really fun and interesting and it's unique to you. So all right, well that'll be the show for this week. We want to thank our fans who contributed questions. Please keep us supplied with awesome topics by submitting questions of your own via the YouTube and Soundcloud pages. While there, please give us thumbs ups, likes, and 5-star ratings on iTunes. It helps promote and spread awareness of the show, and any bit of encouragement helps keep the show going. You can also catch us on Tuesdays on our sister podcast, Corrective Consciousness, the in-depth look at this week in our lives. Finally, you can friend me as vysethebold on Steam, PSN, Xbox Live, Twitter, Switch, and Battle.net.
And you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Lotus Prince. You can hit me up on Twitter at Lotus Prince. And finally, if you are interested in seeing my videos early, getting in on exclusive live streams, selecting upcoming games for me to Let's Play, next one coming up is Shadow Man, or even getting in on a Discord with me and other patrons, then perhaps consider swinging by my Patreon account, which can be found at patreon.com/LotusPrince.
You can find me frolicking around at Final Fantasy XIV as...
I thought it was gallivanting. Were you gallivanting?
It was definitely frolicking the last time.
It's
definitely
somewhere
frolicking.
between frolicking and gallivanting. It's more of a frolivanting.
Fine, crafting.
Crafting.
Capering.
Yes, mostly
This time
crafting.
Making all the gears for everybody. And food.
Oh, man.
Yep. And you can find me as Old Man Stompy on
As
most
Old Man
major...
Baby.
The Old Man Blueberry.
Was that a joke from this episode or from Recon? I don't remember.
I don't care.
Yeah, make all the jokes and let God sort it out. Anyway, you can find me on most major gaming and social media networks except for Steam, just shoving blueberries in my face like a fucking chump.
And It'll be kind of like that Kirby commercial where the fat guy explodes after eating too much.
That was Yoshi's
a
Island
gross
2.
commercial.
That was
Yoshi's Island 2.
And that also like scared the shit out of me. Although there was nothing in it that would make me. I wasn't scared to play Yoshi's Island 2. I played the shit out of that game.
All right. Well, we'll catch you on Tuesday, everyone. Catch you for Recon.
Until next Blueberry, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.